Jacques used to be the nice guy always.
Me?
You were the guy. You were the guy cleaning up the messes for us while we were like talking shit about people.
That's true.
Yeah. Just like, or making us stop talking shit about people. On that note, let's just go into the movie world for a bit here. Not that I'm doing movies, but I'm lining one up for you, Jack. I know you got something brewing. But this might be a nice segue into that. So I've been rereading this book recently called Will Not Attend, and it's written by a guy called Adam Resnick. I know Tom. I got that book originally from Tom on holiday in like Sardinia. I don't know how many years ago when the book came out.
Oh, that's where my copy is.
Yeah, I got two. I got two because I had to buy my own as well.
I'm taking that back home from London next time I'm there.
He signed it for you.
Yeah.
It's gone, dude. It's gone in the world of books.com.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I read that like in a day from the whole thing. I don't know. And I just got really, really into it. And it's probably the funniest book I ever read. It's just his stories of like sort of being depressed with people and obsessed with things that he just can't get out of his mind. I think he does or did have some kind of, mental issues as well. I can't really relate to that, but he did basically he started out as a writer on Late Night with David Letterman. That's where he met Chris Elliott, and the both of them went on to do Cabin Boy, this movie from whatever, 94. Probably one of the most underrated comedies ever made. And it is, if you read this book that I'm talking about, is totally in the vein of what you expect from Adam Resnick. Because it's kind of like, oh, you want me to make a movie, or you want to make me a TV show? Because he also made Get a Life also with Chris Elliott. And it's kind of like, he has the capabilities of doing something really funny and broad, but he just doesn't want to. He just fucks it up intentionally. So you don't know what you're watching. You might be watching like the dumbest movie you ever seen or the funniest movie you ever seen. And that's kind of what Cabin Boy is to me. But this book came out, I don't know, eight something years ago. Got it right here actually, because I'm reading it right now. It's a little
It's the best.
Yeah, it's so funny, man. And it's all like short stories of him just being pissed off at people, basically from, when he was a kid growing up, dealing with a lot of issues, until today. And he goes into situations with the intention of ruining shit for everyone. That's his kind of look at life, and it's just funny. It's so funny, but it's written with a lot of heart. So there's a story about like going to Disneyland with his family, and his only goal is basically to ruin the trip for everybody. It's really funny because I can at a level relate to what he's talking about in terms of people in general.
It describes like in a perfect way the way you like think about people when you're at like one of those family parks. It's the fucking best.
Yeah. So it's more about like, I'm not talking about all people, but when you go out to Disney World or whatever it may be, to go here to like Piccadilly Circus here in London, and you look at people, you're like, get out of my fucking way, And I'm not saying that I hate people. I'm not like that hardcore, but I'll say every day there's a good like 5-6 situations where I'm like, okay, now I'll
fuck this person.
Like fuck these guys, and they haven't done anything to me except for being in my way or for wearing a whatever Game of Thrones t-shirt. I don't care, like it's just things that bother me, like these small things that bother me every single day. And he's so good at expressing that very feeling. And of course he's a funny guy. It's all funny. But the more disdain he has for people, the funnier he gets. We know it's funny when we're touring and we're trashing people and we're talking shit. We do it because it's funny. We're not mean, like there's a line that when you cross it, you're like, oh, this guy's actually an asshole. We're not like that. I don't think Adam Resnick is not like that.
I love how Jacques used to be the nice guy always.
Me?
You were the guy. You were the guy cleaning up the messes for us while we were like talking shit about people.
That's true.
Yeah. Just like, or making us stop talking shit about people just in case it'll come back to us.
Really? That's how you guys see me?
Yes.
I was the responsible one?
Yeah, you're a good dude, for sure.
You know what the weird, Jacques. You know what the weird thing is? Like you used to be the nice guy, and then like the last tour we did, like I was of no importance on that tour when I wasn't with you guys in a hurricane party. I think actually Rick was a nice guy, and you were kind of a little bit like we used to be. It's like
bitter.
You changed, man.
You mean like I'm jaded?
Maybe that's it.
Maybe you just knew me when I was young and free, and then you saw me when I was old and broke down.
So maybe this is it. Maybe it's us getting older, and that's kind of why he's bringing out this side of me where I'm like, will not attend. I'm not coming to your fucking party. I don't want to go. I don't want to do that because it's
a little cynicism, you know? a little cynicism.
Marcus and me just did a major detour to tell you in this conversation that you got bitter, man.
That's what this is all about.
Jack, this is a bit of an intervention for you, Jack.
The digital
We're not
intervention.
even recording this, you know. We want to talk to you about something here. But anyway, Adam Resnick, funny guy. I don't know what he's done as of lately so much, except for maybe going on like the best show or talking to people. You know, I didn't keep up. I knew he came from that world of like, you know, Get a Life and Cabin Boy, which I love. It's just the dumbest, best shit,
yeah,
you know.
Best.
I want to give props to like the best show because it was an interview with him that got me to buy that book and like introduced me to more of his work. Like Get Alive as well. I think I found out about Get Alive, and I think that's one of the most underrated TV series of all time.
Chris Elliott's always been on some weird, uncomfortable shit.
Yeah.
His character on Schitt's Creek most recently.
Oh yeah, of course.
Was he Roman Shits?
Yeah. Funny guy. I could have picked him as well, but
Roman.
you know, this kind of all these guys. Are funny.
Cool.
So that's one guy. So that's
cool.
a segue for you, Jack.
I'll read that book.
For sure.
I'll buy it right now on Amazon.
Hey, I got 2 copies, man. If you want one.
Yeah, fuck off.
Actually, I think my computer's listening. Hey Siri, buy that book. Have it shipped to my house. She's listening. Hey, send Tom and Marcus some flowers too. Thanks, Siri.
Beautiful.
Shit, man. I also have a movie that I'd like to talk about because
let's go movies all the way then.
Lewis Logic inspired me. Shout out Lou. Last time I saw him, we were very drunk in Brooklyn. You know, it's the last time I saw old Lou. My movie is from 1993. I think you guys were in elementary school.
Sure.
Is that what you guys were doing?
What are you trying to do?
You were calling me old. This movie.
No, just bitter, which is different.
Yes. 1993. This movie was called Blood In, Blood Out. Are you guys familiar with this movie?
Yeah,
Yes.
I am.
Yeah?
Yes.
Have both of you seen it?
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but I was in a video store when I worked there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm surprised we never watched it. Was it dubbed in Swedish, Marcus? Did you watch it? As a
It was
kid?
dubbed. You know, they don't do dubs in Sweden. But I had like an old VHS tape, which I've got from a friend of mine who was like, for a very odd reason, like a super fan of that movie.
Yeah.
All that kind
I'm
of,
very odd. It's a fucking
like,
piece
the
of art.
culture. Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, like he was just this normal dude and had, you know, he was watching this movie every day, like learning the lines and like, what's your end game here, you know? But it's a great movie, yeah.
I mean, so for me, watching this movie as a kid, it was just like an epic saga set from the early 70s into the mid 80s. And it followed like 3 Chicano brothers, one who was half white, through their entire lifespan, you know, like starting in the early 70s and how it happened. And, you know, one of them becomes an artist. One of them, the half white one, becomes the leader of the prison gang, and the other one goes in the military and becomes a cop. And it's just like 3 brothers from this neighborhood in Los Angeles that just like take completely different paths in life. And, you know, there's definitely some maybe cheesy, borderline, cringy subject matter, but at the time, and I think it still stands up, like it really showed me a lot, and I think it laid out like a really nice history of those neighborhoods and a way of life and how everybody has it different due to circumstance. And honestly, it taught me a lot about prison, about drugs, about, you know, looking at gang culture in a different way. Which, you know, I don't think any of these were, I think maybe they were the intentions. I don't know much about the director. The guy's name was like Taylor Hackford, and he did like an officer. He went on to do An Officer and a Gentleman, and
Wow. That's a big leap.
what else did he do? He did, forget the other movie because honestly, I never like followed. I wasn't into directors. I never even knew. I was into the actors, and a lot of actors got their first parts like early on. Like Danny Trejo was in it, but not like a major character. Ving Rhames, Billy Bob Thornton. Like the main characters were dudes that one of them went on to do Law and Order New York, and not a lot of things. Or the guy who played Miklo, I can't remember his name. Like Damian Chapa. He was in Street Fighter. Right? Wasn't he like Ken or Ryu in the Street Fighter movie? Not connected to any like cinematic masterpieces, but the story of Blood In, Blood Out was just amazing. And actually, I think when
he was Ken in Street Fighter.
It was Ken in Street
Fighter. He was also in Under Siege.
He was in Under Siege. Shout out Seagal, another amazing cinematic masterpiece. When it came out in theaters, they had to change the name to Bound by Honor because of gang violence. They didn't want to call it a blood name because obviously the Crips took issue with that in some of the major cities, and it was like a fucking problem, which is funny. So sometimes you could find it under.
So I think in Sweden, the full title was Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor. Like that's the whole title. So they just like, oh, it's a replacement title, but we'll keep the original too, whatever.
Yeah. There wasn't really a lot of Crips and Bloods in Sweden at the time.
Not that much. Not
that many. No. Yeah. Tom, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's one of those 90s movies, like I said, that spans the decades, 70s, 80s, 90s, and portrays that part of Los Angeles, from all different angles. And, it's something that stays with me. I still quote it. Chesky is a big fan as well. And we still send each other like memes back and forth. That character Popeye was just like so comical, and there's so many lines that like if somebody has seen the movie, like we could just go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.